What's up, everyone? So the reason why body weight exercises are not always ideal, and I'm not saying you should never do them, and I'm not saying there's no place for them, but body weight exercises as a beginner is not the best starting point. Okay, so let's put it this way: there's no exercise that you would ever do where you are starting at the heaviest weight possible. Okay, so when you get on a chest press, when you get on a bicep curl, a leg extension, there's never going to be a time when your starting point is the most amount of weight that you're ever going to lift, which just so happens to be the weakest point that you're ever going to be. And, you know, the way to look at this is you have to manage your body weight. So, you know, if you come to the gym, it's your first day in the gym, you're overweight, you know, let's say you weigh 300 pounds, 250 pounds, whatever it may be, and you've never really worked out. You're at your weakest, but you're also your heaviest. So while you're at your weakest, you're asking your body to manage the weight and the load of you being your heaviest. So imagine going onto that leg extension or that bicep curl and trying to do the most amount of weight that you're ever going to do in your whole training lifespan while you're at your weakest point. And then as you get stronger, as you get in better shape, you decrease the resistance. So there's an inverse relationship between strength and resistance. You would never do that on no other exercise. Would you demand the most out of yourself when you're at the weakest point possible? And while it may be nice, you know, to give people body weight exercises, because they may be afraid or have some sort of aversion to doing weights because of preconceived notions, you know, that's your responsibility as a coach, or your responsibility even as a trainee to learn this yourself, that weight and resistance specifically is just a tool. And the good thing about using machines specifically, why I love machines, is because you can select the appropriate resistance for what that muscle can tolerate in that given moment, which is subject to change on not just a person-to-person basis, but a day-to-day basis on the same person. So as you progress or as you regress, which happens just like the stock market, just like the housing market, just like anything else, it's not going to be this continuous linear upward trajectory of progression when it comes to your training. You may have to decrease the resistance sometimes. There's going to come a time and a place when you can't tolerate more, or that your body has just too much global fatigue, you're overly fatigued, and in today's session you may need to do a little bit less. And you have that opportunity when you are using machines, because you can really be precise. You can delineate the exact amount of resistance that you need with the pin, and you can select which plate you want to put it on. And unfortunately, when it comes to body weight exercises, you are stuck with whatever your body weight is today, which is going to change on a day-to-day basis, depending whether you're gaining weight, losing weight, etc. So you are demanding your body to do or to be able to tolerate some arbitrary point, which just so happens to be your body weight, which in no exercise would we do that. I would never get somebody to go on a leg extension and say, what is your body weight? Okay, 250 pounds. That's our starting point. Okay, what's your body weight on, we're going to do a chest press. Okay, 250 pounds. That's your starting point. That is why machines are beautiful. And that is literally the beauty of machines, is that we can be so precise and accurate in terms of coordinating the amount of resistance to a muscle's tolerance. And instead of, you know, just using whatever's available to us, or whatever weight, however much we weigh. And, you know, a lot of people do have an aversion to weights because it could seem intimidating, but the reality is it's a tool, and the tool is only as good as a coach or as good as the person using it. And it doesn't matter how great that tool is, but we need to, you know, do a better job, you know, as an industry, of informing people the benefits of using a machine, rather than veering away from it because we simply don't understand it. I'll give you one more example before we end off. And imagine, doing a back extension with somebody. So a low back extension, the machine, you come on it, you're doing this thing here. What are the chances that a person's able to tolerate their body weight on that exercise? Highly unlikely. If somebody weighs, 250 pounds, let's just assume if we were to sever them in half, they're 125. So we're asking them to manage 125 pounds of mass, not even taking into consideration all the other components and variables that contribute to force, such as the distance that their head is away from their lower back, which also plays a huge role. If you were to hold a dumbbell here versus hold a dumbbell out here, that dumbbell has a very different effect on your joints. So we're asking that person to manage all of that weight to their lower back, and the lower back is already weak to begin with. It's a recipe for disaster. Instead, I want to put somebody on a low back machine, and I want to say, okay, we're going to do this machine. Our starting point is going to be 20 pounds. Let's just see what you can tolerate, if you can do it. The person does it. Okay, let's go to 30. Let's go to 40. But you will see that more than likely, a person cannot tolerate their body weight on that machine, which means they probably shouldn't be doing it, because they're coming up with some sort of version of that exercise because you are more concerned with them performing the exercise rather than how they are performing the exercise and which muscles are orchestrating and coordinating to come up with that exercise. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below, share it, and make sure you like it. Thank you.